Hello, Mr. Ben. Hi, Carol. C'est comment? Bonsoir. I'm live right now. Hello, Mr. Ben. How far? Carol, tu es déjà rentré? D'accord. Am I looking straight? I know last time the video was sideways. Can you please just let me know if it's, straight today, please? Are they fine, bro? Hey, Passy. Thank you guys for joining. So how life now? Please just be patient. We're just gonna wait for a few more people to join us so we can start. The boss himself. Thanks for joining, Mr. Melat. Hello, beautiful Nicolene. What's up, sis? The beautiful one herself. Beautiful Chris.
If you live in the Lawrence area and you are tired,
Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm just waiting for a few others to join so we can start, so just bear with me.
income
I appreciate your
and with
patience, your time.
then turn up your speakers and listen up. Have you ever looked in the mirror in your adult life and thought to yourself, wow, I thought life could be better. I thought there'd be more. Well, I know what that
Hello,
feels
Mr.
like.
Ngaya.
That's
What's
why I
up,
love
bro?
this passionate desire and doing a live event in your area so you can see for yourself that there is a better.
How are you? How is life? Thank you so much for joining me today. We're just waiting for a few more to join so we can start. Hi, mommy. Good evening, sis, and welcome. Thanks for joining me. We are just waiting for a few more to join so we can start. Thank you. Sorry guys for the wait, we're just waiting a few more to start. Hello, Pipi. Welcome, see Suzanne. Alpha. Thanks for joining. We just wait a few couple more people to join so before we start. Please. Can someone please just let me know if the camera is looking straight? I know last time it was facing sideways. I didn't even notice until towards the end. If you can just indicate maybe anything just to let me know, please. If it's straight and not facing sideways. I'm sorry guys, it's taking a little longer than I had anticipated, but maybe we're going to start in the next 5 minutes. Letizia, welcome. Hello, how are you? Please just let me know if the camera is facing up straight, please, if I need to adjust it, but otherwise I know. Thank you so much. Hello Pipi, how are you, honey? So we'll be starting in about 5 minutes, and today I'll be talking about humility. Hopefully a few couple more can join us so we can start. Hello, Tati. Sorry, Mr. Millard, for the wait. I know you have so much patience, so I trust you. Just bear with me. All right. Hello, welcome, Mr. Tucker. Thanks for joining me. Just waiting for a few others to join so we can start. Please feel free to, make comments, and if you have anything to add in what I'm going to be saying, welcome and it's appreciated. If you would like to join me live, please, you can indicate it. I don't know if I know how to do that, but I'm sure I can figure it out. Your input means so much to me, and I'm sure it will go a long way to help many others. Before I start, this is my fourth maybe video that I'm doing, and I don't think I ever officially introduced myself. I was hoping that I would. I think everyone I see already know me. I don't think I need to introduce myself, but yeah, so first of all, I want to apologize. During the last video, I think it was sideways, and I didn't realize until someone pointed that out to me towards the end, and it was too late for me to fix it, and I didn't know how to fix it, and like I said, I'm still learning, and hopefully that will not happen again. I apologize about that. So my name is Chantal. I'm sure you all know. My last name is Shamga. This is something new that I started. This is the fourth video I'm doing, so please bear with me if I'm not anywhere close to what you expect, but it's a work in progress. I also have a website which is still, it's called It's a New Day. It's a New Day is just another platform that I created to be able to reach out a wider range of people, to share my thought and hopefully to inspire and to motivate people in my own little way. It's called It's a New Day, and the website is my first name and my last name, so Chantal Shamga, Chantal with the E.com. Please feel free. I know some of you guys have already been there, but there was a couple of updates that was done. I think it looks prettier now and it's more easily accessible. Please feel free to check it out, and tell me your feedback and comments, and if there's any improvement that I need to do, which will be helpful to all of us. I will appreciate that. Yeah, so without wasting so much of your time, I will go straight to the reason. Sorry, what time is it right now, Mr. Miller? Let me see. Is it 10 p.m.? What is the time zone? What is the time difference? I don't know. Probably 8 p.m. Don't tell me you're going to bed because you're not a baby. So today's topic is about, I'm going to be talking about humility. And the reason why I decided to... Alright, I need to be serious. Yeah, so the reason why I decided to talk about this, I think we live in a world today. Sorry guys. Sorry about that. So today I'm gonna be talking about humility, and the reason. Thank you so much, Mr. Miller. Thank you so much. But I hope you're not going to sleep. You need to sit here and listen to me. That's your own torture for today, okay? You have to listen to me. I'm just kidding. And the world we live in today, we are pushed with a desire, with the zeal. 9 p.m. Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry guys for the interruption. In the world we live in today, the desire for us, to be viewed as superior, the desire for us to be viewed as number one, as the perfect guy, has gone a long way to destroy some of the the valuable qualities that we have as human beings. And the world of today is just, people are just so full of self-centeredness, and like we don't really regard each other as equal human beings. And I think there's a lot of reasons why the world is becoming so the world is becoming like really, it's a place of hostility, it's a place of violence. And because of the fact that we as human beings, we attach so much value in in our achievements, in our successes, it becomes a problem where we don't regard human beings as we don't attach any more value or worth to human beings, because all we focus is on the things that we have, the material things that we have. And today I'm going to talk about some of the issues that we face. I'm going to be sharing some of my experiences about that, and some of the consequences, like some of the potential consequences that we could face as human beings, because of our pride, because of our ego, and I'm gonna be suggesting some possible ways that we can try to fix this thing, to make to make this world maybe a better place for us. Yeah. So before I get into that, I just wanted to define the term humility. I know when we talk about humility, when we hear about humility, so many positive things come in mind. Hello, ma. A lot of positive things come in mind. We have different versions of different definitions. Sacrificing for somebody else, putting other people first before us, making sure other people are in the better place before we even think of ourselves. All those characteristics are, we attach them to humility, and no one is wrong. It just depends on how from which angle we're looking at it. But I came across one a definition from, what is it called, Merriam-Webster dictionary, which I think it's really, I really like it because it's, you know, it's short, it's simple, it goes straight, you know, it goes straight to the point. And I'm going to share that definition with you, and I'm going to read exactly how I'm going to read exactly how it is written. So it says the definition of humility, and I quote, freedom from pride. Freedom from pride. Freedom from pride or arrogance. So it says freedom from pride or arrogance. Hi sis, welcome, and thanks for joining. Yeah, so freedom from pride or arrogance, the quality or state of being humble. I'm going to read that one more time. Freedom from pride and arrogance, the quality or state of being humble. I personally like this definition, like I said earlier. It's short, it's simple, and it's straight to the point. And the fact that we can easily relate to this key term that we have, you know, freedom from pride. We all know what pride is, and we all know what it's all about. Arrogance, we all know what that is. I believe pride and arrogance, they work hand in hand. You know, they are like, you know, finger and nail. There's always one accompanying the other. And then the quality or the state of being humble. We hear about humility, we talk about, you know, someone being humble, which makes it interesting, and it's part of the reason why I thought it possible, you know, wise to, you know, talk about, you know, humility today. So, you know, in life, it just only, it's natural for us as human beings, you know, to be, you know, to be proud a little bit sometimes, you know, to, you know, I want to say to boast or to talk about some of our achievements or successes. You know, some people are blessed with, you know, some kind of, you know, foundation, some kind of whatever that's, you know, accommodating to them, whatever makes them comfortable. Some people are blessed with that, and some others are not. And honestly, why it's only natural for us to see, you know, people coming out like they, you know, being proud and stuff like that. And also, you know, it's fair for us sometimes to take pride in our work. You know, if we put effort to make something work, it's only natural for us to, you know, to take credit for it. That's totally, you know, not something natural that we do all the time. But I don't think this day and age in the society that we live in now, I feel like it's, you know, it's going to another whole new level, which is becoming a societal issue, and, you know, to some level, you know, personal, you know, individual basis. And, you know, people, like I said earlier, people attach so much emotion, people attach so much, we are influenced by our, you know, wealth. We are influenced by our power. You know, power, it could be power from political, it could be power from your job, it could be whatever position you hold. You know, we are influenced by, you know, the relationship that we are in, you know, the people that we hang out with. It could be wealth, it could be, you know, all walks of life. You know, we are people, I would say us, because I'm part of the society. We are being influenced by, you know, all those things. And because of that, I feel like we are starting to, you know, we are starting to minimize our fellow human beings. We are starting to underlook, we are starting to, you know, view ourselves as, you know, we are like a, you know, a superior being, like a first class human being. and regarding others who are not fortunate enough, or others who are not fortunate enough to have the things that we have, or to be where we are, you know we minimize them, and we don't view them as human enough, like no, like not worthy of anything good. And that's part of the reason why I feel we should start looking into those things. No one is perfect. No human being is perfect. We all do things differently, and we all view things differently. But I think if we start being conscious of sometimes our behaviors, and we start to look at our inner self and actions and how we come off and the things that we do, I think it will be fair enough for us all to work towards a common goal, which is to view each other as you know like equals, and of course equals in the eyes of God. um, like I said earlier, the intensity, like I said earlier, the level at which we are getting really, really taking pride of the things that we do. Pride is normal, but when it gets to a certain level, like when it becomes excessive, like I said, pride and ego, they walk hand in hand. Ego is something that's good, but when it gets too much, it gets in our way. And once that happens, it's a bad thing, because we cannot move forward. We cannot learn new things. We cannot view everything. It's all centered. It has to be us. Everything has to, like it's all self-centeredness. Sort of say, and it's everywhere. This issue that I'm talking about, yeah, it's everywhere. And I have so much, experience with, dealing with people and situations, and, with this type of attitude. And when I speak out of experience, and I believe many of us out there have been in a similar situation. And, I don't know how you handled it. I don't know how you dealt with it, but I'm gonna share some of my own experience. When we run out of when we are so much into ourselves, we are all self-centered. It's all about us. No other person matters. No one is right. We are always right. It becomes a problem. And I remember a couple of years ago, still in this country, I had to undergo a program at a school where we all go through different trainings. We have to survive. We have to improve, make life better for us. And it happened to be an institution where it was like individually owned by a couple. And a couple, and this couple where I would say typical example of someone that has lost their sense of humanity, someone that has, because they believe where they were, they owned whatever they owned at that time. They could walk on, they like life, and they thought life, that was life. And and anyways, so the way we were treated, the way I was treated, it was like we're second class human being, actually. And everything was just, I don't even have to go deep into it, but when you get treated like, you are a nobody, you don't want nothing, you are just, a nobody. Long story short, couple of years, I would say like 2 years after I left, I was working at this place, and this lady, I don't know what happened to her. I don't know what happened to her business. I don't know what happened to whatever, everything, her life, her family, her business. I don't know what happened, but apparently she came to where I was working. She had applied for a job there, and she had to come in for formalities and, you know, hiring paperwork and all that. Little did she know that, you know, I worked there. And this lady got the job. She got the job, you know, and they had to take her, you know, for a tour, you know. I'm sure you guys know, you know, introducing her there and there, showing her things. And I came face to face with this lady, and she was shocked. She was, you could tell her jaws dropped, and it's like how arrogance, ego, pride would make somebody to, you know, to get to that point where, and when I saw her, I knew she wasn't gonna take that job. I knew exactly, because you know when you've treated someone really bad and you don't see yourself like, I'm gonna be working with this person as my coworker, or I used to be your boss, like, you know. So it was that kind of feeling, and I knew she wasn't coming back. Yeah. So that's just an example of what, you know, ego and pride can lead us to. And I'm sure she had bills to pay. I'm sure she had issues. She, you know, we all need money. We all need, you know, money to pay our bills. But for what reason? Why would you turn down a job offer because of another human being? You know. So it was that bad. It got to that level. And that's not the only instance. That's not the only time where I experienced that kind of treatment. And you guys can also, you know, share what your experiences have been in the past. And it's been a couple of others. I've had coworkers someone who always say, oh, it's me, no one did this, I did it, you know, no one did notice this issue, but I notice it and I fixed it. Every time I come in, everything is like this. I'm always, you know, I'm always the one doing this, I'm always the one doing that. You know, those kind of attitudes, when you feel like you know it all, when you feel like, you know, you are perfect, you can't take correction from anyone, it takes you nowhere. And all you do is just go around the circle, and you're all full of yourself all the time, and you cannot learn anything. Another thing that I just wanted to share is that I know most of us, we all come from, we come from back home, and we know how we are brought up. You know, we have to respect, we have to do this, we have to do that. And then coming here, it's like another kind of mentality where people don't even call you, there's no like respect attached to your name like we do back home. And it happened to one of my coworkers again, where, you know, because he came from back home and he was in a position, he used to be whatever in this company, and he could not stand it, he could not, you know, believe he was being, you know, he had a boss actually who was younger than him, and who had to tell him what to do, who had to tell him how to do and when to do it. And he wasn't having that. And just, you know, the pride, the ego that you can't talk to me like this, I'm older than you, I used to be this. And that's the other problem. We always say, when I was in Cameroon, or when I was here, I used to be this. And now it's a new whole situation. We need to be humble and face reality. And sometimes if we don't do that, we end up, you know, losing a lot, just because no condition is ever permanent. And if we stay just focused and be humble and do the things that we do, there will be many doors that will be opening for us. And you know, when I talk about humility, I always talk about being humble. And being humble is just, it's easy to be humble than to have pride, because you're always fighting with your inner self. You always, you know, like fighting with everyone basically, because you want to be seen as number one. You want to be seen as the best. You want to, like, if you want to like be on top of the world, even when you do not deserve it. So I'm just enough of all that. I just wanted to bring this in just so we know like the level at which, you know, pride and ego could lead us to, and it's just something that we need to look into carefully and try to fix ourselves, because I feel like having it all with no humility, it's like just you are just empty, because you can always lose all you have, but if you have humility in you, that stays with you forever, and that's a virtue that we cannot buy, and we need to start working on that if we want to make the world a better place. Like I mentioned before, when we feel like we know it all, when we feel like we cannot listen, we cannot pay attention, we cannot learn because we know it all, it's like when you fill a bottle with water, and the water sits there, there's no more room, you know, for you to add more water. You can only empty that bottle, or you can drink some of it to refill it. And it's just like when you feel like you know it all, you're closing all the doors, you're closing all the opportunities that you have out there. No one's going to want to talk to you because you are Mr. or Mrs. Know-It-All, and you are full of yourself, and you're going to be on the same place, making the same mistakes, doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and until when you decide to either give up or just continue doing it. So, you know, it's just like until you empty that bottle, you can't. And when I say empty the bottle, I mean when you can't open it up and share what you have and listen to other people and learn from them, you know, that way you making yourself better every day. You know, you're just gonna be stuck on the same place, at the same place, sorry. You know, I want to talk about communication for a little bit because it's very, very important. It's very important for us to know how to communicate, and it's a very important skill that we need to develop, you know, as humble human beings, because it's a way for us to connect with people. When you are open, when you are honest, when you are welcoming, you know, you open the doors for so many people, and your doors get opened by so many people, because we don't know it all. We can never know it all. And if you don't talk to people, if you don't ask questions, when you know you don't know something, you would never know. And you will, you know, like I said, like you're just gonna be in your own little world and be there until whenever you decide to, you know, snap out of your ego. So communication is very important. When we are full of pride and ego, you know, it's just, I feel like everything that happens ends up in a similar result. You know, we lose a lot of, you know, we lose a lot of things. I think that's the most, when you can't learn, and whatever knowledge that you have that you feel is correct, that's all you have, and there's no room to make any progress. You know, I think we should start working on ourselves as human beings. I mean, look at, you know, some of the world leaders that we have so much you know, respect for, like Nelson Mandela. He also talked about you know, honesty. We need to be honest with ourselves first. You know, if you can't be honest with you, if you're not honest with yourself, you're not gonna be honest with anybody else. And you know, so we look at the qualities that he had. You know, despite everything that happened, you see a great person, and only humility can take you that far, wherever you want to go. Because no matter what, you will get to where you are going. if as long as you are open to learn, and as long as you are you are able, you are willing. Thank you so much, bro. What's up? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, yeah. You know, and I came across, I don't remember where, but I came across some research that said people, you know, people who have so much ego and so much pride, they end up having a lot of, you know, a lot of health issues. And I really believe it because, you know, for someone who's constantly fighting with themselves, constantly, you know, trying to make sure that, you know, everyone is looking at them, trying to make sure that nobody else matters, you're constantly fighting with yourself. And what ends up happening is, you know, when you don't get that attention that you want, you end up with depression, there's anxiety, there's hatred, there's arrogance, and for no reason. Because there's so much, you know, effort that you put it in just for that reason. When we have so much ego and pride, it is hard for us to realize our limitations. It's hard for us to realize that we can always start all over. You see someone very proud, and they think they walk on top of the world, and you know everything happens for a reason. I know I said this, I mentioned this during my last one of the videos, I don't remember which one. And you see somebody fall, and they fall. Sometimes things happen, they all happen for a reason, and to teach us a lesson. You know, to fall doesn't mean you cannot get up again and start all over. But for someone who is really, 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 you know, full of pride and ego, that person will never come to you and say, it is bad, it is rough, I need help. And that's what happens. I've seen cases of people committing suicide, people becoming homeless, and so many different societal issues that could have been avoided if they were just humble and say, I need help. And that's really, really bad. Some people die with, you know, with pride, just because they don't want to accept the fact that someone knows something that they don't know, or they can't accept the fact that someone could teach them something. And I feel bad because you can't change somebody. It has to start within. It has to start from us, and that's the only way out. So we have to be careful, and you know, moving. You know, there's so much that we're gonna be doing in life. There's so much we're gonna be, you know, there's so much ahead of us. So much. It's a lot of things for us to do, and it's not late for us to start recognizing each other as, you know, equal, despite, you know, whatever influence we have, you know, whatever, regardless of the influence that we have. Personally, I do not look at somebody, or I do not give respect to somebody based on what they have. I think respect has to be vice versa, and it doesn't matter what you have, it doesn't matter what your achievement is. If you do not have humility in you, I do not look at you like somebody, because there's really nothing I could learn from you. And you know, there's so many ways that we can start. There's so many ways that we can start to you know, to teach ourselves to practice how to be humble, you know, to become humble. And like I said before, we have to start learning how to be honest with ourselves. Mr. Mbua, what's up, Mula? You know, we have to start by being humble. Being humble to ourselves, and we have to start believing and acknowledging the fact that we don't know it all. There's always someone who knows something that we don't know, and it doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter the gender, it doesn't matter your marital status, it doesn't matter whatever status you choose to be in, it doesn't matter what connections that you have. We should learn to be open and start, opening up and learning, because that would open many doors for us. We would learn, and learning is like a process. We would never know it all, and it's just something that we have to put in practice. And the more we learn, I feel like the more I learn something, the more I realize how less or little I know, because there's so much to learn. And if we start putting that into practice, I think we'll become better persons as we continue to do the things that we plan on doing in our lives. And I'm sure it will be helpful. Another thing is, we should learn how to give compliments. We should learn how to give credit when it's due. Just because you don't know how to do it and the other person knows how to do it, give them credit. It doesn't change who you are. It's just being positive, and it's just too much holding it in there. There's just no need. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own star. Everyone has their own luck, and everyone is unique in their own way. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself trying to hate, or trying to be envious. And we should learn how to give compliments. We should learn how to say, please, can you show me how to do this? I don't know how to do this. There's something that I also learned. It's called, they call it quiet ego. I was just curious about what that means, because I always know ego is something that when it's too much, it becomes a problem. But I think I actually wrote it somewhere. I think I'm just going to give some credit to her, because I don't know her. I think she's like an inspirational writer. I was reading about her, and she mentioned something about quiet ego. Her name is Toni Agnesi, Agnesi. If you want to read more about her, and she's an inspirational writer. If you are into this kind of contents, you can search her and read more about her. Yeah, she said something about quiet ego, which is a situation where she says when we are wrong, we should admit that we are wrong. We should we should admit that we are wrong, and when we are right, we should be quiet. I think that's a very difficult thing to do, but nothing good comes easy. I can't even imagine myself being quiet when I know I'm right. But again, it's not gonna be easy, but it's a work in progress. We have to learn, we have to practice, and it has to be like a school. It has to be ongoing. And if we do these things, we will, like I mentioned before, there's so much. Thank you so much, sis. Thanks. When we start practicing on all those things, there's so many doors that will be opening for us. There's so much that we're gonna learn that would help us in the future. We will have so much respect for each other. We will value each other. A humble person can start all over, anytime, anywhere. It doesn't matter how many times we fall. What is important is how many times we get back up and continue from where we fell and just keep going. But only a humble person will do this. And I think that's what we want. I think we want to be humble. I think we want to have all the, all the good qualities that a normal human being should have. If moving towards our goals in life. There's one other thing that I want to mention. There's something, patience. We have a problem with patience, and if we don't try to work on our impatience, it's just the problems that we're facing are just gonna get worse and worse and worse. We have to learn how to be patient. Again, it's something that something that we see every day. Many of us are not even where we wanted to be. Many of us have made mistakes that that could have been avoided. Many of us have said the things that could have been avoided, so and many more. And that's because we lack patience. We want it, and we want it now, and we just don't care. But I've seen people coming from back home, and actually I know two medical doctors who came from it's so funny because it's like opposite of each other. And coming from back home as a medical doctor, back home, the pride and everything is, all the praises and all that. Thank you so much, beautiful Chris. So being humble, this guy had to go, start. You can't come from another country and come to the United States and, as a doctor, they won't even let you, go straight and start practicing. They have their own guidelines. They have everything put in place that they have to make sure that you are well qualified before they can even let you, go anywhere close to, a health facility or whatever, and if you are not patient, to go through all the steps, you have to take tests, there's so much to do, and in the meantime, we need to survive. This guy needed to survive. For those who know what happens here, there are many, jobs that sometimes being a medical doctor, you would not even want to go anywhere close to. But this guy humbled himself, and he was doing all this, jobs that I don't even know how to call them, until, he got to where he wanted to be. And that's a perfect example of someone who is humble. It doesn't matter, like I said, it doesn't matter where you are, what you are doing. Be humble to yourself and do what you do, and do it diligently. On the other hand, the other guy, hello, Daddy. Hello, Kristen. How are you? On the other hand, the guy who just lacked patience and thinks himself like, I can't be a medical doctor and be washing people off and be washing, trash. I can't do that. And he had to leave, and it's unfortunate. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Michael. Thanks for your compliments. Yeah, so he could not be a doctor. And guess what? He still continues to say, when I was back home, when I was a doctor, but when are we going to learn that we have to adjust? We have to adjust, and with humility, you can always adjust yourself, because no condition is permanent, and that's his own way, that's his pride, that's his ego, but no one is listening to him, because you are a doctor. Where are you practicing? No one knows you as a doctor. You telling the whole world you are, but and that's really sad. With humility, we could be really, really like strong health-wise, mentally, emotionally, physically. Like there's so much benefit being humble. Like I said before in the beginning, when I defined the term humility, something I can't remember. I can't remember, but something about freedom from pride and arrogance. It's like freedom, like we all know what freedom is. Like you are free, your mind is free, and you are open to anything that comes your way, and nothing stresses you. Yeah, so with humility, there's nothing that will stop us from learning. There's nothing that will stop us from correcting our mistakes. There's nothing that will stop us from like making ourselves better and better and better. Like I said, the more we learn, the more we know how little we know. We don't know anything. We don't know nothing. When we attach value to each other, there's so much we can learn. Just because we own a company, just because we built that company, doesn't mean we know it all. If we want that company to grow higher and higher, we have to be open to learn, because there's someone who has had that company and a bigger one before you came. Thank you so much, Chris. And they know something that you don't know. So we should quit treating each other as a second-class human being. We need to be humble. I'm getting to the end of this, and I'm so hoping that this video is still facing up. It's not facing sideways. Please let me know. I know I have so much respect for Obama. Every time I talk about him, I feel like he's still the president, but it's because there's so much good qualities, he's so humble. There's so much humility. If we look at him, you can see everything I've been talking about. And looking at where he came from all the way to where he is, it's just what we want. I'm not saying what we want to be president or want to be in politics. I'm not talking about the things that are attached to him. I'm not talking about his achievements. I'm talking about him as a person. You can take away everything he has. That's not going to change him as a person. That's what we want. That's how we want to live. That's how we want to live as God creatures. He made during his 2008 when he won the election, when he made a speech, there's something that I always, when I think of humility, I always think about that, and I had to write it down during his victory speech. I'm sure most of you, know. I'm not into politics, so don't think I'm not into politics. I just know who the president is, and I don't know nothing else. And when he was doing that speech, there's a quote, I'm going to quote exactly what he said, just for us to know that, life is a constant school. We have to make it a constant school. We learn. We have to be open to learn every single day. Welcome, Marjane. Thank you so much for joining. So he said the journey will be difficult. Again, I'm not a politician. I just love these phrases, and that's why I'm repeating back to you guys, just to see how someone at that level is still willing to learn. It said the journey will be difficult. So here the journey will be difficult. He's not saying, oh, I got this, I got this, I don't need anybody else. He says the journey will be difficult. The road will be long. The road will be long. That means I face this challenge with profound humility. I love it. He says with profound humility. That's someone who's the president, who is going to be ruling the entire nation. But he is acknowledging the fact that, he says, I face this challenge with profound humility and knowledge of my own limitations. Like, knowledge of his own limitation. He knows he doesn't know it all. He knows he doesn't have the answers to all the questions, and he's not going to act like, he's not going to pretend that he knows. He's already telling us that he knows his limitation, and he's just a human being, and a humble one at that. He says, but I also face it with limitless faith. He has faith. I feel like all those, they're just tied up together. When you are humble, there's so much goodness. There's just so much positive qualities that come along with it. You can't fake it. It just happens. It comes, And he says, but I also face it with limitless faith and in the capacity of the American people. Just to tell you, to tell us that he's willing to learn, despite the fact that he's going to be the president of the United States. And I'm just talking about him because he's such a role model. He is such a role model. I feel like we should all, he's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but he is such a role model that I feel like we should always look up to those qualities. Thank you so much, Pipi. You are awesome. We should always look up to those, and I feel like not only us, like, everyone should look up to each other, and we should learn the good things from one another to help us better ourselves. Like I said, if we are humble, many more doors are there waiting to open for us. So much goodness is waiting for us out there. When we are humble, we will learn. Even the things that we could not imagine we could learn, we will learn them. There are people willing to teach us, but we just have to be humble and be open. It doesn't matter if you see someone on the street that's homeless. Someone being homeless doesn't mean they are them as a human. They are not. They are a human being, and just because they are homeless or because they are not where you are doesn't mean you cannot learn from them. Believe it or not, you can learn from them, and you will be amazed of the things that we will learn. It's just the way we should look at life. It's just the way we should start practicing. We should start practicing on the things that will help us to move forward and not to break down. And I mentioned earlier, I've seen people committing suicide. I've seen people with depression, anxiety, just because of the fact that their ego is in the way. We should get our ego out of the way. If we start getting our egos out of the way, we will feel so much relief, and we will feel so light because, we can talk. We can talk about what we're going through. We can talk about we can ask for help. We can ask for assistance. We can ask questions when we don't know. We can say we don't know when we don't know. Because when we fall, and the truth is that's how life is. It's up and down, up and down. It doesn't mean when we fall we cannot get back up. But you have to be humble, because if you are not humble, if you treated people like I mentioned the lady, how she treated me and ended up coming back and not taking the job because I was working there, too bad for her, because apparently she still did not learn. When you treat people bad just because you are in a more privileged position, don't forget that there's no condition that's permanent. Tomorrow it will be somebody else, and it only takes a second for things to change. For life happens. And can you imagine yourself treating someone like a nobody, and then tomorrow, the next day you find yourself in that same position, and either you have to you know, you have to deal with that person. That person might be your help. And I'm saying all of this because I've dealt with all those things. You know, and sometimes it's sad because some people still, like I said, still go on, even at the situation they find themselves, they still do not acknowledge that they need help. And it's sad. So, let's try to be humble. It pays to be humble. There's so much benefits, so much goodness that comes with it. And if we take life as a school, we will continue to learn. We will continue to make ourselves better, and you know, and that's how life should be. I will end here, but before I say goodbye and thank you guys all, I just want to repeat, in the beginning I had apologized about the previous video. It was like sideways. I don't know what happened. I'm still learning all these things, and I'm hoping that this doesn't happen again. I apologize, and I hope next time it will not happen again. The other thing I've mentioned was that there's a blog, there's like a website that I created a couple of months ago. It's a New Day. It's on my Facebook page and my Facebook profile. I'm just pleading with you guys at your spare time. I know there's never a spare time, we're always busy, but if you continue to support me, which I really appreciate, I beg of you to spare me a couple of minutes and stop by and just see what it's all about. I do more of writing there. It's more of my my thoughts, just to inspire people, just to motivate people. I'm also doing I like to write my own quotes, but right now I only have a couple, but I intend to upload more. It's just the way I feel, depending on what day and what inspires me, and I just like to share. I'm also trying to offer some tips, like helpful tips to help us maintain our thank you so much, Mr. Mbua. Helpful tips for us to maintain good relationships. And when I say good relationships, I'm not talking about I'm talking about whatever relationship. It could be family wise, it could be marital, it could be a work related, any type. It's just like general tips. So if you stop by, please, you can leave a comment, you can leave suggestions. I'm really open to that. I will appreciate if there's anything that you think that we could make, I could make it better, which will help us. I will really, really appreciate. I'm looking for suggestions, because my intention is to, share my view, share my thought with people, and I really believe that there's someone out there that it will be helpful for them. So please, please, please try to share the video. If you didn't find anything useful, please just share, and share and share, and let's just share the love. And I know someone is waiting for this video to change their life, and I believe so, and I know so. One last thing, yeah, I'm into like getting into social media. Like, I can't even believe it. But then again, we have to believe in ourselves, and that's what I started doing, and that's why I'm sure some people will be like, I can't believe you are like sitting in front of the camera and doing all of this. Yes, you can do whatever you want. You just have to believe in yourself, and I'm starting to believe in myself, and that's why I'm doing all that I'm doing, because there's so much that I think I need to share. And if you just continue to support me, there's so much, I don't know, there's so much. I feel like I just have to let it out. I just have to share it. And I really, 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 really appreciate your time, your effort. It's not easy. I know how busy life is, but you guys have sacrificed so much to be here all this while, and I'm just talking and talking, and I promise that I will be stopping in a couple of minutes. But before I do that, when you go on the website, like I said, please, if you like something on the website, please, you can always subscribe. That way you can, have notifications whenever I put up a new post. My plan is to, do a live video once a week, and do a written content on the website. That way I have the written version and then the video. Just for some people who might have, we never know. It might be convenient for someone to read. It might be convenient for someone to watch. Whichever the case may be, I'm just trying to do it that way. When you go on the website, all the way on the bottom, I think I linked that website to my Instagram. On my Instagram, I just have just quotes. It's all full of quotes, like positive quotes, like all kinds of quotes. And then there's a YouTube icon there, which if you click on it, it will definitely bring you to a new video, YouTube video that I also started. It's called Shanti Donuts Inspirations. Yes. Those are my inspirations. So if you please happen to have time, please just try to visit that and subscribe to it, and and thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Marjane. I really, really appreciate your support. Personally, I had planned to personally acknowledge you, but I was waiting for you to come, and then I forgot when you got in. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you finding what I do useful and helpful. We just have to do what we have to do. This is my own way of contributing, with the little that I can. I just want to make myself useful in this world, because I think we all have to make ourselves useful, because there's someone that needs us. And on this note, I want to say thank you all once again, and I hope to see you guys next week. It's my plan. I wish to be back, next Tuesday, not Wednesday. If you guys, I'm probably going to be talking about, I'll keep that, it's a secret. But I will confirm that Monday if I'm going to be coming up live, but that's the plan. And I hope to see you all again. And thank you so much again. I can't thank you enough for all your support. I can't thank you enough for your time. And hope to see you again. God bless you all. Bye.